powerful, emotional, gripping moment. You may recall when the widow of U.S. Navy SEAL Ryan Evans was pointed out by President Trump and honored for the sacrifice her husband gave his life in this raid in Yemen. And I know there was controversy around the raid. We'll talk about that later on. But this is the widow. This is the widow. Well, here's what happened. First, she was introduced by Donald Trump. And so when he introduced her, everybody stood up and clapped, Democrats included. Actually, most of the Democrats, but not all of them, but most of them stood up and clapped. Okay, that's good. Then everybody sits down. Then Trump talked about her husband and his sacrifice to this country and giving his life as a Navy SEAL. And he just recently died. And so after honoring her and honoring him, then, of course, everybody stands up again to clap and applaud. She starts crying. The camera's on her, and she's crying. She's standing there, and you see tears running down her face. This was a 2-minute and 11-second standing ovation that she received. It was such a powerful moment. But guess what? There was a point where, and I'll level with you folks, I absolutely, totally assumed, here's how naive I am, that something like this, of course, everybody's on their feet. Everybody's applauding her during this 2 minutes. Of course, right? There was a brief moment where the camera panned back, and guess what you saw? During the 2-minute sustained applause, only half of the chamber was standing. The Democratic half, not only were they not applauding, they weren't even standing. They just sat there in their chairs while the applause is going on from the other half of the chamber for the widow of a United States Navy SEAL. Now, in all fairness, the camera wasn't on the Democrats for the whole 2 minutes. So it is possible, we don't know this, it is possible that they really were standing and they really were applauding until the camera just started to pan toward them, and then suddenly all of them together collectively sat down and stopped applauding. And so maybe that just happened during the few seconds the camera was on them. But I got to level with you, folks. I seriously doubt that that's the case. Not to mention the fact that there's already reports from eyewitnesses who were in the room that are talking to some conservative media saying, yep, I was there. They sat for the whole 2 minutes. They just didn't get up. They got up the first time for the brief introduction of her, but that after that, for the sustained applause of honoring her, they refused to even stand up, let alone clap. I thought that was shameful, folks. I really did.